Welcome to my project ideas. This is an ongoing series on WordPress and website development. So we have already discussed how to buy a domain. We have already discussed how to buy a hosting. Now it's time to integrate both of them so that you can get started with website development. So the steps are very simple. You start with domain buying, right? The name of the website that you want. The second step that you buy the hosting, right? Where you want to host the website, where your files and the entire data will reside. And third step is that you connect these hosting and domain. And then the fourth step is that you install WordPress over your hosting. And thereafter you start the development of the website. So this is the flow. So we have already done two parts. The third part is the connections. So it highly depends upon your hosting. So how your hosting behaves. So if you buy SiteGround, if you buy Hostinger, both of these hosting rely on the name server. So name server is something where domain information is present. So what they do is like they directly get the name server. So their name server belongs to these hosting directly. So the point is very simple that if SiteGround and Hostinger is there, where you have option to integrate using name servers, you just copy the name servers, right? Like these are this name server for machineatal.com, and you go to your hosting, sorry, domain. So this is the domain GoDaddy, right? And you go to name servers and just change the name server from the default one to the one provided by hosting company. That is, SiteGround provides this, hosting will provide something else. Similarly, you just change the name servers, you wait for 8 to 10 hours, and the website will start pointing to your hosting. That's a very simple step. So you just go to your domain GoDaddy, find a domain, click on DNS, and then go to name servers and change it out. That's it. So these are the easiest way, right? The second way is where you buy a hosting cloud like Cloudways. So Cloudways hosting rely highly upon your integration via DNS records. So it does not changes the name server. It asks you to do some changes. So there are two ways, right? So I want to use another DNS manager. Suppose you have bought the these what we say, the domain from some other platform, not from Cloudways. So in that use case, you go to your Cloudways and find the application and then search for domain management, and there you find some values. Like after the adding domain, you add your domain name, whatever it is, you add here also, and then you get some records. So it is called text records. So these values you can fetch from particularly Cloudways. So you get these records: text record 1, text record 2, the name, host, value. So like this you get it, and then you maintain in the GoDaddy. So suppose you are done with these steps, you go to GoDaddy, and the name servers will remain the default one that is provided by GoDaddy, and the DNS records will be something that you will change. So you will find a lot of records already here. So if you see, visit DNS register panel, that is this DNS register panel where you can change the DNS records and select a domain. So we have already visited our domain, that is roodlabs.xyz, right? And add the first TXT records in the DNS management system. So suppose these are the TXT records. So I can always click on add new record. Type is TXT, right? Name is this one only, name. Copy this one, paste it here. Then value is also here. Copy and paste it here. Choose TTL as default and add. So I can say XYZ 123 and add more, save it out. Suppose these are the actual values and your DNS records will be updated, right? Same way, add one more detail. So once these details are added, so you have to go back to Cloudways platform and you have to verify it, like do a verification if the same things are maintained or not, and wait for some time so that it reflects your website there. So these are the steps, like you have to change the records here, and also they ask you to sometimes change the A and C name. So if you see down below, you have option to view A records and view C name records. So those records also require to be changed sometime. So well, TXT records will do the work, but once if it is not working, then you visit A records and remove the old A and C name So A and C name is already there, right? So you need to delete these things, the old ones, and you need to change it to the new ones like this, the one mentioned. So I will, provide this article. This article is particularly for Cloudways. Cloudways is a different hosting platform, a very famous one, but it's very costly. So for this, steps are very different. So I will mention this article in the video description. Otherwise, most of the hosting platforms are very simple. They just want you to change the name server. That's it. So I believe this video was helpful. In case you have any question, you can always ask me in the comment section. So in the next video, we'll learn how to install WordPress over your hosting. So we'll be installing the WordPress over SiteGround and not over Cloudways. So yeah, thanks very much.